Welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. My name is Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I help private practice owners align their business back with their soul's calling, with their big vision and with their soul's purpose. Unlike other private practice coaches, I've traveled the world in search of spiritual resources, spiritual tools, education and information so that you can have the transformation that your soul desires and needs so that you can up-level your business. How much fun is this? I love it so much. Guys, if you're not already a member of the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group, please check out the show notes. I would love for you to be there. In the meantime, thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Good morning, happy Saturday, and welcome to another episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. My name is Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I'm the host of this podcast, and I just want to say thank you so much to you for being here, and of course welcome all of our new subscribers. I hope that you really love this podcast so much and that you get so much out of it. Today though, what I want to do is have a conversation with you around something that's come up for me when I was doing a reading for a private practice owner last night actually, and this is the topic of transformation. And I think as therapists, as counselors, psychologists and social workers, even as coaches, we can become so focused on the transformations that our clients are having. And you know, we go to all sorts of lengths to do our very best to help our clients create shifts in their life, whether it's an emotional one, a spiritual one, something with their health or well-being. And this is evidenced, isn't it, by all of the time and the money and the energy that we invest in things like professional development. We do our very best to keep abreast of the latest developments in our fields, the latest trends, and we want to make sure that we're always giving our clients the very best level of care. And that kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? It's kind of a bit redundant to even be thinking about that. But what I want to share with you today is the idea that as women, we often tend to be, you know, in our feminine energy, which is either healthy or perhaps not so healthy. But regardless, it's our natural inclination to look after others first and to put ourselves last. And one of the things that I think is really important when it comes to supporting clients with their transformations is that we understand the role that energy plays in this. I know, I'm good at coming at you left of field, aren't I? You thought you knew where I was going with this, but then I threw a curveball at you. I think you need to understand the role that energy plays in transformation. And, you know, I think you have to also be mindful about universal laws, for example. You know, there's this law called the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is only one of 12 laws, and it's the most commonly known one because of Rhonda Byrne and The Secret and all of that sort of stuff, which we've discussed before, so I won't go into it again. But I think the really important thing to understand is at a very basic level, like attracts like. And so what does this mean for you in your private practice when it comes to things like transformations? So here's what I want to share. If you are noticing or observing with your clients that some aren't moving or progressing or shifting the needle as quickly as perhaps you would expect or anticipate or even desire for them, or perhaps you're attracting clients who don't do the work. You know, we give them the strategies in the sessions and we tell them practice your breathing or practice 5 minutes of meditation a day before your next appointment. They come along and they haven't done it. I think that's not so much an opportunity for you to keep exploring with that client why they're not doing it. I think it's also an opportunity for you to understand that the world around you is reflecting back things that are happening within you. I know. So I told you this was going to be a good episode. So, what do you think might be happening within you if that's your experience of the world out there? Okay, so if people are showing up and they're not doing the work, what's that saying to you? I feel like it's probably the universe reflecting back that you're not transforming yourself. And I don't mean this in terms of your own psychology or your own state of mind or your own state of well-being, but even in a business sense, maybe you're not transforming, maybe you're not having your shifts, maybe you're not having your growth moments, maybe you're not having your business breakthroughs, things like that. So understanding the fundamental universal law that like attracts like can be very expansive for you, because it allows you to see things that happen in your private practice through a new lens, through a more spiritual lens, okay? And I absolutely believe 100% that what you see going on around you is a reflection of what's going on within you. You've heard the saying, I think it's as above, so below, as without, so within. It's exactly that. This is what the law of attraction is. So that's something for you to consider. Of course, there are other universal laws as well that also impact transformation in your business and with your clients. And so one of those laws is the law of compensation. And the law of compensation simply states that when you choose to, I'm just going to give you an example from what's going on with my business at the moment, but I'm enrolling people into various programs. So one of the things is sometimes people say that they want to enroll in something, but they can't afford it. Here's the thing. The law of compensation states that whenever you invest in something, you're going to receive something back to equal or greater value. Now, the thing is that it might not be money that you get back, like you might not invest $3,000 and then receive $3,000 or more dollars back. It's not about that. It's an energy exchange. So if you invest, say $3,000, I'm just using round numbers here because it's easier for me. If you're investing that sort of money, then you can expect to receive back compensation for 3,000 or more. And that's going to be perhaps even energetic, because everything in the world is energy, as we've discussed in previous podcasts. So what does that look like for you in business? Well, it means that if you invest, $100 in your supervision a month, that you're going to receive an energy compensation of at least 100, right? So what this comes down to for your business is transformation is in the transaction. We know, and I think many of you who have done pro bono work, I still do pro bono work as well. I keep 5% of my appointments for pro bono. But where you're not charging, or maybe if you're psychosocial worker and you're bulk billing, I'm sure you've had an experience yourself, or you can see patterns or trends in transformations and progress between people who get things for free or at a very low cost compared to the transformations experienced by people who invest a little bit more. This is where that saying comes from. The transformation is in the transaction. And so it's the same for you as a business owner. If you're noticing that you're treading water with your practice and you're not investing in your practice, whether that's your professional development or maybe it's coaching or some course that you want to do, then you're not going to be experiencing transformation. And when you're not having your own transformations for the business, then it's not going to be as easy or as likely for your clients to be able to experience their transformations as well, if you look at it through this energetic lens. So have a think about times where you have questioned a money investment for something. And I'm going to give you an example here as well. Like I have on I know many of you have seen it, but on my website, I have a whole bunch of things, right? I have some things that are free. I have some things that are $27. I've got some things that are $47, right up to $3,000 and $5,000. And I get people buying things at every price point. But I can also see who of everybody that signs up for things is doing the work. And guess what? I've got about 300 people that have signed up to my most recent free opt-in, and maybe not even 10% have done the work. When I go into the list of all the people who've bought my $27 product and my $47 product, it's nearly 100%. They've all been in, downloaded their stuff, answered their questions, done the work, emailed me for more information, all of that sort of stuff. And then when I go to the coaching and I go to the courses, I can see 100% of the people have done everything. So what is this telling you? It's simply reinforcing the concept that transformation is in the transaction. So if you are noticing in your business that nothing's really moving, or that you're needing something to move and you're not sure why it isn't, this could absolutely be an indication that you need to invest in something to get your own transformation happening in the business. And that's kind of called the law of compensation, which is really cool, isn't it? You get back something to equal value or more for what you invest. And it's, as I said, it's the same for clients. When clients aren't investing, and there's many ways to invest. I'm not just talking about money, but even because we know that there are clients who do get the free work, who do the work. Okay, so I'm not saying blanket. There's always exceptions to the rule. There are other universal laws as well that also impact transformation. One of those is the law of gender. And you might best know this by previous podcast episodes and even the work that I do online that's all about masculine and feminine energy. So it's kind of the same. When we're in our masculine energy, we're caught up in all of the doing, and we're not focused on who we are being. And that's a problem when you're looking at transforming in your private practice, because when you're getting caught up in taking the action, you forget about that deeper transformation at a soul level. You forget to honor the things that are going really well. You forget to honor yourself. You forget about things like self-care. And if you need more guidance on self-care, then you should go and follow Kim Dunn. It's DUNN, Positive Young Minds. She does a lot of work, especially for mental health practitioners, around self-care, and she has some good courses and resources available. If you can't find her, let me know, and I will connect you so that you can access her resources. But understanding the law of gender also helps you understand the importance of balance in your energy to facilitate transformations. It's like when you're working with a client and sometimes you just can see or observe or just know that this client is in their head and you really know that they could progress a little bit more if they allowed themselves to drop back into their body. Well, it's the same for us as women in business and as women in private practice. When we're running our businesses, we get caught up with oh yes, I understand I need to be in my body and I need to be in flow and I need to lead with intuition and things like that. But first, before I do that, can I just have the strategy? And when we're caught up in strategy, we're white knuckling it and we're putting ourselves under so much pressure, and it really doesn't need to be like that. And a really simple way for you to have your own experience of this is to even think about recently, think about when money has come into the practice and what you were doing at the time it landed in the account. In the private practice hub, we have a couple of resources in there, trainings and workshops and workbooks around money mindset and manifesting with money. And one of the things that the women are asked to do is to track what they're doing when the money comes in. And guess what? almost everybody who was tracking said that they were either out having a walk or they were eating or they were at the movies or they were shopping with a girlfriend, or do you know what I mean? They were not in front of the computer when the money came in. And it was by them having that experience that they realized that it's safe for them to disconnect from the practice, to disconnect from work, and to embody that feminine energy, because that's where they make money. Remember, the masculine energy is around providing, the feminine energy is around receiving. So one is giving, one is receiving. If you're only in your giving energy and the doing energy, it's not going to be possible for you to receive, because you're not even going to see it, okay? So there are a few of the universal laws in terms of how they apply to you and to me as women running our own businesses, working in health and wellness, and within the context of transformation. So what I would ask you to do is really just go away and reflect on where the practice is now. And I want you to think about where you really, really want the practice to be without limitation. Just allow yourself to daydream and even journal it out, just free write, everything that would be going on. And what I want you to do then is think, okay, who is that version of me being that's got that dream practice? And how does that compare to the version of me now? And what needs to happen in order for me to have my transformation? And understanding now that transformation's in the transaction, what are you now willing to do? What action step are you willing to take to help shift the needle so that you can begin to embody that version of you that's running her dream private practice? So that is all for today. So I'm just logging into my computer because my screensaver cut on. I'm recording on GarageBand. I'm still transferring everything over from my laptop to my desktop, but loving it. Anyway, guys, I hope that you have a beautiful day. If you're interested in some soul-centered group supervision, let me know. I have a couple of places remaining. I've got 2 groups going, a morning one and an afternoon one. So I will put the link for that in the show notes. And of course, I'm here. I'll also put my email in. If you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm excited to hear about the action that you're going to take to facilitate transformation for yourself and your practice this year. You can do it. I believe in you. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast today. If you're looking for clarity, if you need help with branding, your processes, and bringing everything into alignment with your soul's purpose for your private practice, head to the show notes and click the link for more information about the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group. You are going to love it. I can't wait to see you in there. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.